What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, I am here at my garage with my car, and I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go over with you guys about my car, my goals, and why I like my car so much, and why I got into cars into the first place. Why do I love cars? So ever since I was a child, I always looked at cars in a different way. I mean, yes, it's a method of transportation, but I also looked at the beauty, the lines, the design, and the potential that it has, right? Like, as you can see, my car is not like any other car. And it's not because I made a lot of changes, I mean, in my mind I have, but it's more of the few details and touches that you do is what makes it look unique, right? Obviously, there are cars that have way more than mine, but I just love mine because it's mine, number one, and two, because I have put the time, thought, and vision into it, right? So even though it's not a lot, I have done enough for it to make it look like it's mine. And then obviously, for the future, I'm gonna have a lot more to it.
How did you start with your passion for cars?
How did I start, or how did this passion start for my car? I think it all came from back in the days when the first movies, Fast and Furious, started. I mean, which is kind of like corny and whatnot, but pause it. So yeah, so Fast and Furious was.
So start all over. Okay, so how did this passion for cars start?
I think everyone goes back to the whole Fast and Furious movie, but in reality, is not only that, it's more of cars and all these people from like the 50s and 60s that have like their cars that still look so amazing, and even though it has been 50 years, 60 years, they did things to it that made it fast, good looking, and that kept the prestige value to it, right? So I think when you look at cars and you realize how much potential they have to remain looking so beautiful, and those details of like keeping them clean, keeping them polished, and doing these things to the cars is just like, it's just, I guess, it's weird I don't know how to describe it, but it's just that feeling of looking at a car and it's like, wow, it's been 50 years, the car still looks so amazing, and it's still running and driving like if it was rolled out of the factory yesterday. So I think it's just the capture of time of a car that was so long ago, but yet it looks as if it's brand new today.
What's the story behind your car?
The story behind my car. I think that when I first, so a long time ago, when I first started getting into cars, I always looked at the car from the movies and how it was so good. And as usual, or as everyone starts from the bottom and you get a used car and then you make it yours, but then you're like, well, it's not really a great car. And then you start looking into your potential goals and you set your mind on getting a car, right? So this was my dream car because of the movie Fast and Furious, obviously, from Brian O'Connor. But in reality, just funny story was that it wasn't really this car. At first I was like, oh no, I want an Evo, but the Evo was discontinued. So I was like, oh, you know what, that's crazy. But then I started doing research about Subaru and how cool the cars are, how safe they are, and all the good things that they do for animals and for things like that. And I mean, obviously because they didn't make Evos anymore. And then I started gearing towards Subaru, but also I realized that I'm not bashing Evos or anything like that, but they were so cheaply made on the inside that looked really ugly when I got into an Evo 10. Then I got into a Subaru STI, I think it was a 2008, and I realized that even though they were the same year, it was similar year, it was very much different on the inside. So I realized that as well when I first got my STI, but that's another story for another day. That it looked really good on the inside. It felt so great, and even though some people think like, oh no, they don't last long, but I just love it, enjoy it. It just, the sound of it, I always drive with a smile on.
No, how did you you didn't always have this car.
And?
The car that you had before was
so,
different. So what is the story?
Okay, so the story behind my cars. So on 2018, I just had gotten my first real well-paid job, and I wanted to price myself for making it throughout my college years and like my first job and making that out of my regular job, which was in the restaurant industry. So I was like, you know what, let me get the car of my dreams since now I'm able to afford it. So I got a WRX-STI 2018 Limited. Exactly the same thing, but on a 2018, right? So the car was great and everything was fine. And unfortunately, for reasons I can discuss because I can't, I had to return it, and then they gave me my money back. And so I was so, not bitter, but I was so disappointed because it was my dream car and I've always wanted it and I couldn't have it, that I ended up relapsing, you can say, and getting that WRX because it's the same shell, but it is in reality a great car too, right? There's difference that people think like, oh no, the EJ engine is not better than the DIT engine and things like that. But it's just in my mind, in my memories, the STI has been just iconic to me, right? So fast forward 2020, the pandemic started, and cars have gotten a lot higher in value and resale value. So I spoke to my wife because everything has to be a combination between everything when you're married, and so we discussed this, and I think the equity I had on the car was in great shape. So I ended up finding out how much equity I would transfer if I transferred to an actual STI. And so I got help from Liberty Subaru. I'm gonna put his information on the box below. So if you guys have any questions or need any car, please send him a message. He is very helpful, and he has helped me getting both cars, the WRX and the STI. So at this time he helped me get it, and he gave me all the paperwork, and he explained to me the equity transfer. And yes, I got a great deal. The resale value of the WRX was almost as if I got it brand new. And obviously I got this car as if the pandemic wasn't happening. So yeah, so that's how I ended up with a 2021 STI now. And even though my plate says no rumble, it's because I had a WRX, but previously I had the plate NYCSTI. And then as time goes by, things change, but the passion for the cars remain.
What modifications have you done to this car?
Modifications. So this is a great topic because I have not modified the engine yet. Soon I will probably start if the wallet and the wife let me. But so I have APR carbon fiber lip. I have APR backplate, APR trunk trim. I have side skirts that are wrapped in carbon fiber. I have window deflectors. I have vortex generator. I have STI lip. What's it called? Guard, or the little tail thing. I have underglow, very bright underglow kit, and I have, what else do I have? I don't know if dash cams count, but I have raised wheels wrapped in 255 40 18 tires, Continentals all seasons. I also have work lug nuts, which again they're not modifications but makes it look really pretty. I also have Tomei exhaust, catback. What else do I have? I think as of now, it's what I have. Yes, I have modified RGB taillights by Mike Jin. They are full custom, as well as the F1 light. And I think that's it. I think that's all my modifications for now.
What modifications do you want to do on this car in the future?
I have in mind airbags. I know some people have thoughts about like airbags, why? No, you're crazy and stuff. But I just think that the way that you can handle with airbags are great. The car is garage kept anyways, so I think we'll be safe. I also want to get flex fuel, headers, downpipe. Maybe we can do a bottom mounting cooler. I've always wanted them. It looks so beautiful, and obviously a tune. I'm still doing my research about tuners and which tuners are great, what tunes I should get, what parts. As you can see, I have a couple sponsorships, but yeah, so in the future I want to do some modifications in the engine, but on the safer side, just making sure I make some okay horsepower. I'm not aiming for crazy hot boy horsepower and just passing everybody on the highway. I just want it to be conservative and keep the car on shape for the long run. What sponsors do I have in my car? At the moment, I have worked really hard with my 3 cars, and I have gotten Option Lab wheels sponsorship that has just finished. I have GRIMMSPEED, as you can see, my windshield banner, which I have a couple parts coming up. I'm gonna make a couple videos about it. I also have been sponsored by Glowing Industries Underglow, which is the very bright underglow. I'm gonna put a link to the video of the brightest underglow I've ever had. It's amazing. So I've been sponsored by them. I just got sponsored by an aesthetics company that creates Aero works or diffusers and I believe splitters. I can't remember the brand, I apologize. I'll put it on the description as well. But I just got in the works of it, and I just got the final email of sponsorship. You'll see a video about it too, because I might go with the diffuser as well. I also have another sponsorship for, actually I have a coupon code for JDMuscle USA if you guys need it as well, and I have a couple other coupons that you could reach out to me or leave a comment, and I'll make sure that to share with you guys so you guys can have a couple good discount prices on any parts. But yeah, so those are my current sponsors for the car for the long run.
If you could give advice to someone that wants a dream car like yours, what advice would you give them?
Advice to people who want to get their dream car: work hard, don't stop dreaming. The vision remains. I remember when before I got the cars, before any of these 3 cars I just listed, I always kept pictures, envisioning. I always drew that I had it. I always felt that I was gonna get it. You know that feeling when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna, like for instance, when you get your paycheck, right? Yes, I'm gonna get my paycheck tomorrow. That's great. The same feeling should remain. Always focus and feel like you have it, and it will happen. I promise you. I never realized until afterwards that I had a desktop a desktop background picture of an STI, a 2018 STI, the whole time in my computer. And I realized that until I was editing pictures from my 2018 STI that I was like, whoa, interesting. I've been programming my mind to have this car for so long. Yes, you may say like, but that was your dream car, but then that's just how you envision and complete your dream. So don't ever let anyone discourage you. It doesn't matter like what everybody else feels like. It's what you feel like. If you feel like you're gonna have something, you will have it. Keep working hard. Don't stop. Don't let anybody put you down. Your thoughts are always the power, and you'll get it. I promise you, you'll get it. Everyone that reaches out to me through social media and asks me like, oh, how do you get equity? How do you do this? I always tell them the truth. The truth sets you free. So always follow your heart and work hard.